I go to class on Tuesday, and one of the students asks a question that catches my attention. What is the best way to learn new words? Our teacher pauses for a moment, then responds thoughtfully. There are many strategies you can use to learn new words, but I'll share with you the most effective one, based on statistics. She explains that research shows people who read while learning a new language absorb new vocabulary twice as fast as those who don't incorporate reading into their routine. Reading, she says, is like exposing your brain to a treasure trove of words, sentence structures, and grammar patterns that help accelerate your learning process. She emphasizes that to see significant progress, it's essential to read for at least 30 minutes each day. This consistent practice lays the foundation for long-term retention and fluency. Our teacher then outlines specific strategies we should follow to maximize the benefits of reading. First, it's crucial that the book or text you choose is interesting to you. Whether it's a story that captivates your imagination, a subject you're passionate about, or information that is useful for your job or hobby, make sure you enjoy reading it. When you're engaged with the material, your mind stays focused and you're more likely to remember the words and phrases you encounter. Avoid forcing yourself to read something that doesn't grab your interest. If the content feels like a chore, not only will it be harder to stay motivated, but the learning process itself will slow down. The more you enjoy the content, the more naturally the new vocabulary and language structures will stick with you. Second, aim for materials that are just slightly above your current level. If a book or article is too difficult, you'll find yourself constantly stopping to look up words, which can interrupt the flow and reduce your comprehension. Instead, choose something where you understand 70 to 80% of the words. This way, you'll encounter new vocabulary and context, allowing your brain to infer meanings without relying on a dictionary for every unfamiliar term. Learning through context helps strengthen your ability to guess meanings in real conversations, making you a more confident and independent language learner. Third, don't rush the process. Savor each new word and sentence. As you read, take the time to focus on unfamiliar words. When you come across a word you don't know, try to guess its meaning based on the context of the sentence or paragraph. Only after you've made a guess should you check its definition. This technique helps reinforce your language skills and builds your capacity to deduce meanings from real-world situations, just like you would in a conversation. Fourth, keep a vocabulary journal. Writing down new words, along with their meanings and sample sentences, helps solidify them in your memory. But don't just list the words. Write them in full sentences or, even better, create a short story using them. This will allow you to practice and reinforce what you've learned, helping those new words transition from short-term memory into long-term use. Fifth, revisit what you've read. Reading the same passages more than once might feel repetitive, but it's an incredibly effective way to strengthen your retention of the material. When you reread, you're giving your brain multiple opportunities to absorb and retain the language, which leads to better mastery of vocabulary and sentence patterns. Finally, our teacher reminds us of the ultimate goal: exposure and repetition. The more you immerse yourself in reading, the more natural the language will feel. Reading alone, however, is just one piece of the puzzle. She encourages us to speak, write, and listen as much as possible, integrating what we've read into all areas of our language practice. Incorporating these techniques into your daily routine ensures you're learning not just by memorizing lists of words but by experiencing them in context. Reading is a gateway to understanding how words fit into sentences and how sentences express ideas, and it naturally deepens your comprehension over time. So remember, pick something interesting, challenge yourself just enough, and read daily to see your English improve faster than ever. After discussing the topic of vocabulary learning, we move on with the lesson. The conversation shifts to life in England, specifically about the best jobs for students. This topic piques my interest because I've been thinking about finding a job myself. Working while studying is not only a great way to earn extra money, but also an opportunity to practice English in real-life situations. After class, I approach some of my fellow students and ask if they have any recommendations on where to find student-friendly work. They suggest I visit the local job center, which offers a variety of positions suited for students like me. At the job center, I meet a friendly lady at the front desk, and I ask her about the best job options for a student. She explains that they have several positions available, including jobs as a cleaner, cashier, or waiter in a cafe. I tell her that I don't have experience in any of these roles, but she reassures me with a smile. "Your English is already good enough to work at the cafe," she says. "And the best part is, you'll be interacting with customers regularly, which will give you plenty of opportunities to practice speaking English." She explains that the cafe provides basic training, and I won't need to worry about being unprepared. Plus, working in a customer-facing role will allow me to build confidence in my conversational skills. I feel encouraged by her words, and she lets me know that I can start the job as early as Thursday. I'm thrilled at the thought of working in an environment where I can improve my English and gain valuable work experience at the same time. This job represents more than just a paycheck. It's a chance to immerse myself in the language and culture of England. As I reflect on my job search, it reminds me of how learning English is about taking small, consistent steps. Whether it's working at a cafe or reading for 30 minutes each day, every effort brings you closer to fluency. So, if you want to expand your vocabulary effectively, make sure you dedicate time to reading daily. Whether it's a book, a news article, or a blog post, engaging with written language will accelerate your learning process and help you become more confident in your language skills. By the way, if you haven't watched the first part of my learning journey yet, make sure to check it out in my playlist. This is the second part, and there's so much more to come. Stay tuned for the third part of my journey, where I'll share even more exciting lessons and experiences on how I'm improving my English. But this is just the beginning of my learning journey. Tomorrow, I'll be back in class for another day of school, where I'm sure more interesting and valuable lessons await. I can't wait to share with you what I'll learn next, so make sure to stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep following along. To be continued.